Hi everybody. I'm here tonight with Anette Stjärnhjärta. At least it's at nighttime in London, and it's still daytime in Virginia where she is. We have 5 hours time difference. So wherever you are in the world, welcome. And today is the second edition of our How to Get What You Want in a Relationship, where we will be answering your questions that you sent in. And after we answered your question, we have some special surprises for you at the end of the show. So make sure you stay all the way. And if you are here, is there a way for people to say hello through chat or?
Yes, it is. So do you see the chat box is to the right?
Yes.
And if you don't see it, you just click on the chat, where it says chat. It's like you have a upper bar there, and I can write something. So see, so we can see. So it's like a bubble with 3 dots.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, and
Okay.
you wrote there.
Yes.
Hello, anyone watching the webinar live. And now you see, you just have to see in the bottom of that box, chat box, you can write your question.
Annette, could you quickly recap what we talked about on the last show and then let people know how they can watch the replay?
Yeah. So last week we had a webinar, and where I was teaching you how to get what you want in a relationship. And it was from a woman's perspective, what to say. And there was a 4-step process, and it was nailed down to each step and why the steps are working. So if you trigger the masculine instinct, so he wants to provide or do something for you. So I recommend that you will watch the replay, and it should have been sent to you in your email. But if you now signed up for this, and this you weren't at the, you can write in the chat box, I want to see the the replay sent to me, and I see your name, and then we can send the replay to your email.
Great. Great. Super. Awesome. So it looks like we have some people watching, but nobody's talking. So I will just ask you the question, the first question that you got in an email earlier this week. So the first question.
Hey,
So
you who are watching, can you just write in the chat box like hi, and that you can hear us okay?
yeah, good idea.
So,
So are you ready for the first question?
oh, sure.
How specifically can I foster deeper connection with my husband?
That is a good question. So first of all, how have you fostered a deep connection with yourself? Because if I'm not able to have a deep connection with myself, then it's hard to have a deep connection with my partner. So for example, I could have a deep connection with myself, but then when I connect with my partner, I kind of escape. So why do I escape when it gets too intimate in a relationship? So I don't know, based on you who answered, if it is like, yeah, you're very comfortable when you are by yourself and you feel deep connection with yourself, but you have problem to have deeper connection when you are with your husband because the past what you have experienced together. And another thing, so if it first have the deep connection and you feel deep coming from heart when you speak to him, so then you ask yourself, is he able to have a deep connection? Does he want to have a deep connection? So first, that if he wants, then it's always a solution. But if he doesn't want to have a deep connection, then it's like dancing tango. You say, "Ha, sweetheart would like to dance with me," and you are on the dance floor ready to dance, and your husband is not showing up on the dance floor. It's hard to have a deep connection going on, right? If you don't show up both. So both have to be willing and be able to go there. So you can foster deep connection with yourself, but you also have to practice being vulnerable, open yourself up and be vulnerable with your partner.
Mhm. Do you mind also if I answer the question from the tantric perspective?
Absolutely.
So you covered the part where you need to have deep connection with yourself first. It's absolutely where it starts because we're always looking for something outside of us to fulfill us from the outside. But first, we have to look inside and give ourselves what we desire from our partner first. So, yes, nurture that deep connection. And how can you nurture that deep connection with yourself is to ask yourself questions, especially your inner. You can ask your inner child by closing your eyes and imagine the connection with your inner child, what your inner child needs and wants, and give it to your inner child first. That would be one of the techniques. And then if your partner is actually willing and able to make a deep connection with you, then you can do something that's called an eye gazing, which is you just sit down across from each other and completely quietly look into each other's eyes and just keep breathing for 4 or 5 minutes. And it sounds so simple, but it's amazingly effective how quickly people's boundaries melt down and how quickly they feel connected to each other. And it doesn't cost you anything. You don't need any tools for it. You just sit across from each other, and then after 4 or 5 minutes, you can put your hand on their heart, and they can put their hand on your heart, and just keep looking into each other's eyes and keep breathing nice and slow, deep breaths, and keep trying to look past the person and just stay completely in the moment and get in touch with their spirit, their soul, their being, instead of just looking at their face, and let go of all the judgments, all the pain, all the past hurt that you had with them, and just be in this present moment right now. Don't worry about the future, and don't bring up in your mind how you've been hurt or how you couldn't trust them. Just go from this moment forward and just keep making that connection in the right now. It's one tool, and there's other ones too, but this is I think good enough to answer this one question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant. Really good.
Yeah. So, are you ready for another one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. So the next one is I just think it should be both responsibility of both parties to nurture the relationship. I do not intend to be with a coward again. If you do not trust in a relationship, that's no idea. I say from experience. I want to be myself in a relationship without having to think all the time. So I don't really see a question in here, except I'm getting that this person doesn't have a trust in the relationship. So, can you talk to that?
Yeah. So it sounds to me that trust in the relationship, and also I had the feedback I think it's maybe the same person after our first webinar when I shared everything to about which steps you're using to ask for what you want. And in the conversation I had afterward, chatting, she was upset that we women have to do all the work.
Yeah.
And I meet that a lot with my clients. That the first response is to be really, it's like, oh, why do I have to do all the work, and to learn how to talk to him so he will understand. And so it's again, if is it working for you or not? And if it's not working, are you willing to get what you want? Then you may try something different. See if it works. It's just 4 simple questions. The steps, or so it's like to overcome the thing that we have between the gender, the masculine and feminine. I meet that a lot, that women think that men should understand them the way they are. We don't have to do anything. And the men think, why should I twist myself around and accommodate and speaking so she understands? So it's like.
Can you say that again a little slower, because it was a lot. It was so loaded for me too. So can you repeat that?
So we both, men and women, we are coming from, I want to be loved for who I am. So I don't want to, why should I have to deliver something in a way that you understand? Why do I have always to make the effort as a woman?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I can understand that, because was coming from there too. It's like, why can't us men learn how to communicate with us? But what does that lead to? It's like a dead end to me. It's a dead end. It's like, if I take the lead, I get ahead of the game, and I get what I want. So why not? Are you up for that? Do you really? Yeah. So it's like, get over it.
Well, I think also a lot of people just have this sense of entitlement, that why should I have to work for anything? I should just have it naturally, not just in relationships, but any situations in their lives. And you actually, if you want something, you have to go for it, because you can't just sit there and wait for somebody to deliver it for you.
Right.
You might get lucky, but you might not. And if you don't get lucky, then you lose that, like Annette said. So might as well go for it and try it. And if this person doesn't want to work with you, then don't stay with them much longer, because you're just wasting your life away. I was in a relationship for 8 years too long, trying to make something work that just wouldn't work. And my partner also tried to make it work, but we were just not on the same page, so to speak. So whatever, we just couldn't bridge the differences. And sometimes you just can't bridge the differences, and sometimes it's hard to know, like, when to work for it and when to let go. To me, that's the biggest question in every relationship.
Absolutely, that is the biggest question. So back to the dance. If you have someone who is willing to do the work with you, go for it. You're trying to do it by yourself, and I think that's the frustration. Okay, then you have to drop it, because if no one is showing up, you have to find someone who is showing up and willing to do the work. Not being perfect, but if you are willing to do the work.
Yeah. Because otherwise it's a push-pull-toe thing, like you're dragging your partner around, and they will become completely like resentful, and if they do something with you, it will be obligation. If they just don't want to do it, you might be able to force them into it, but it's not going to be fun for you or for them. So
Right.
yeah. So yeah, cool. And how would you find out if your partner really is willing to do it, or they just saying that they are? You have to watch what they actually do, or is there other
The
ways
action
to
will
do
speak. If the action will speak. So if
it?
my first husband, he would say yes with the mouth, and he then
Mm,
go off to work, or didn't have time for. We decided to do things and say no, I have to go to work. No,
mm,
no, and to postpone it. And if you know if your actions and what you're saying with your words are not matching, just that's a warning signal. Like
mm.
call them out on it first, but if that doesn't help, it's just an excuse.
Yeah, that's true. And I had this tendency to listen to what they say because they always know what I want to hear, and I want to hear what I want to hear, and they say what I want to hear instead of listening to what they're actually doing and watching what they're actually doing. So basically, I was lying to myself. So. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the biggest catch, is to notice that you're lying to yourself and you're waiting for this person to do something with you. They're just not interested. Or they just can't do it for you. They might be loving you completely, but they're not able to do what you need or give you what you need.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. So another question?
Yeah.
Okay. How do I express my feelings about my partner making me upset? How do I express my feelings about my partner making me upset?
So if your partner, it could be a trigger, right? There can be different reasons. It could be a trigger that triggers past experience, either from a previous love relationship or from your childhood, so triggering each other's wounds. And then you go into reaction and you are like, ah!
Mhm.
So then that's one way to just stop and say, how do I handle this? I will give you a formula for that, but if discerning, oh, it was not a trigger. Didn't get super reactive and upset, but I don't. Is it? I don't like uh, uh, his the behavior feels like it's abusive, or what he's saying is abusive, and it makes me really sad.
Yeah,
So it's
to me, it's like my partner making me upset is already going in a victim mode, because nobody can really make you upset unless you have the trigger. So
right, right.
so it's like the better question would be like, how do I let my partner know that I'm upset about what they said or did? Yeah.
Exactly. So thank you for helping me with that. So I will now turn to share screen because I wrote this down. You may want to write this down if you take a paper and pen. I switch to sharing the screen. Can you see? No, can you see this?
Yes.
So now, so this is you can use when you're being triggered.
Mhm.
Use this simple formula for express your feelings about your partner's behavior. So when I feel, so for example, I feel like you're blaming me. I feel blamed and shamed when you uh, when you say it's my fault,
Mhm.
and so uh, then you're stating what's going on. I feel this when you do this specific behavior. You can fill in the blank. Long before I met you, my past experience made me vulnerable to this behavior in the following way. Or with your own words, this is like formal, but so you would say, I was blamed and shamed by my dad when I grew up. So that is why I'm very sensitive to this.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're taking responsible, you're not the victim. You know why this is happening, and you're telling your partner.
Mm-hmm.
What I would like for you to do instead is, so it's like saying, oh, it's your fault that you didn't read the map. Now we took the wrong exit.
Mm-hmm.
Then it'll say, I would like for you instead to say, it's not saying it's your fault. Could you instead ask if are you able to give me directions, and have you, and I didn't know that it was my job. So now you just gave me the map, and now you took for granted. So you have to tell me what you want. I didn't understand that that's what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
This will help me to feel more safe with you, because I feel unsafe when I feel like you're blaming me.
Mm-hmm. That's really great.
I hope this helps.
Mm-hmm. And I also think that you don't even necessarily have to know what's being triggered in that moment. It might come to you later, but you could just say, when you say this, I feel that. And then
Right.
eventually it will come to you why that's happening. Yeah.
That is a good point. You can say then, as like I feel da 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 when this is when you behave like that,
Yeah.
and I know this may be from my past, but blah blah blah. I still would like you to treat me like this.
Mm-hmm. And then now, if you're okay with it, I would like to go into the special bonus that I mentioned. Like, we have additional questions that you can ask your partner
Should
that,
you
yeah, that actually fits perfect.
more questions, Tikina?
Sorry,
We should ask if it's more questions.
in the webinar, Imasha just wanted to get the recording of the other show. That's the only thing I see. So
Okay.
yeah, but so what you were saying is that you wanted to feel safe, right? When your partner is blaming you for something, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if your partner is really interested in is making you feel better, safe, then you could actually ask him to ask you, like, what can I do to make you feel safe, or what can I do to make you more loved, or what can I do to support you, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good.
yeah. So do you want to elaborate on that? I know you're familiar with all these questions, or I can if you want to. So
Yeah,
do you want
sure.
to? Okay.
Elaborate.
Yeah. So for instance, a lot of times for me, what comes up when I don't feel safe, when I become insecure about something, like I think like a woman is more beautiful than I am, and then all of a sudden I feel insecure about myself, and then if my partner asks me, like, how can I make you feel more safe, then I would say, oh, tell me like three nice things about me, for instance. That would be something that would make me feel safe. Or if you have an example, you can add your
Yeah,
own.
for me to feel safe, I and actually that is what my husband asked me. What do you need to feel safe? Hold my hand.
Yeah.
So I and to be present with me.
Hmm. So then you can also ask your partner, or they can ask you like, how can I make you feel more loved? And I don't know if everybody heard about the five love languages. We can talk about those in another show, but just quickly, some people feel more loved if you do something for them. Some people feel more loved if you hold them or cuddle with them. Some people feel more loved if you do some beautiful quality like outgoings with them, like go to a nice restaurant or go to for a walk together to spend quality time together. So like the best thing is to learn like how does your partner feel love, because we always give people what we want to get, but that's might not be what your partner wants, and that's might not be how they feel love. So if I like to be hugged but I feel insecure, and my partner feels insecure and I hug him, but what they really want is actually to hear something verbally, then I'm not really giving them what makes them feel love. So
Hmm.
yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. So, do you want to give a couple of more questions before we sign off?
Uh-huh, sure. So, a really good one for me is then when I see that something is bothering my husband. I used to like say, "What's up? What's up? You look sad. Blah blah blah." And then he would go into defense. So a very good question to ask instead is, can you help me understand what's bothering you?
I like that. I really like that.
That works because then it's inviting and I show that I'm caring. When I asked how I started, that is more like implying you shouldn't be feeling that way. You should be happy so I can feel happy.
That's what my ex-husband told me all the time. You shouldn't feel that way, and then just boom, exploded completely. Don't tell me how I should feel.
Right. And
Yeah.
you know, a great thing that has helped my husband and Dirk, my American husband, and I'm originally Swedish, is that he would say, "Oh, I understand your first language is not English, but do you know what you're saying is very rude?"
Oh no.
That really catch me. I have learned it the rough way. I have to learn also how to communicate. It's interesting. I think it's both actually. It's something is about how you express yourself in another language, but mostly I think I was too direct, like woof, just
Yeah.
cutting, just
Yeah.
like the get to the core, cut the
To
bull.
the point. I know. Hungarians the same way. So yeah, I've been called through too. Or too honest for my own good sometimes, you know. So
Right.
yeah, yeah.
We
So
have
yeah, diplomacy helps, but too much diplomacy is just avoiding the problems, you know, too. So then you have to find a fine line there also. Because if you always disagree with everything, then your partner will never know that you have a problem. So
Yeah. So we have so much more to say. We were so, but I think that when we see the time, I want I want to. Should we invite for the next? Do you want to add something, Christian?
yeah.
Should we add what's going on for upcoming week? The upcoming Tuesday.
Well, we promised
You
that
promised
we're
to
going
do
to have
fire. What's your
men.
mind? Yeah, we promised to do the love language, the 5 ways how you show the love languages.
That's not next show yet, though, because last show we promised that we help men how to ask for what they want in a relationship.
Good. Yeah, true. So yeah.
So we're
So,
just thinking. Go ahead.
yeah, so we better get it right. Next Tuesday, upcoming webinar is from men's perspective, how to ask a woman for what they want.
Yes.
So if your partner or a colleague or friend, please, we want to speak to the men. So that's coming up next Tuesday, and the following in 2 weeks we are going to have the 5 love languages.
Yay!
Yeah. So if there are no questions coming, I don't see any more questions in the chat box. Then it's time to close and say goodbye, and please sign up for our next upcoming webinar, and we will post it under the description for the video. And if you have signed up for this webinar, you will automatically get an invitation to sign up for next week's webinar.
Yes, and if you got value out of this, then please share it with your friends so we can help more people that way.
Yeah, we love to speak to more people. Yeah, thank you so much.
Take care. See you next time.
Okay,
Bye.
bye. See you next week.